This week I went to meet illustrators Annie and Claire. Kind of relayed a thought that I had in last week's video, which went like this. If you're published, it means that someone's put their eggs in your basket. They've risked you and you've done the process before. That's the difference between published and unpublished. And again, I got called out. Annie, who was like, you just said it was a risk. You're not a risk, you are providing a service. I mean, look at these examples that I saw recently in an email that I received, without photos, with photos. So I know that businesses need creatives. We need to work together to make money. I guess I got a knack about why creatives sometimes get paid like pennies, whereas the people who are reaping from it are businesses. That's a story for another day. When she called me out, I was just, oh yeah, why do I talk like that? And it really blew my mindset. Yeah, and I just didn't realise that it's my tone of voice. The advantages of having illustrator friends. Thank you, Annie and Claire. And then it got me thinking about the difference between art and illustrators. I remember talking to someone about this and I was just like, what are the difference, artists and illustrators? Like, they looked at me like, I think I've started to realise what the difference is now. So artists to me are our creative selves. It's expressive, it's meditative, it's blah, whatever comes out, you know, it's with our own rhythm. Illustrators are more communication. It's communicating a story, it's actually offering a creative solution. You still need your artists to figure out what that voice is your inner voice, and then expressing it illustratively, so you communicate the message and almost feeding it to the viewer or the receiver. Whereas you still need to like feel it, you still need to put those emotions and meanings and thoughts in as an illustrator, but you're doing it for someone else. Whereas the artist, you're doing it for yourself. Does that make sense? It helps with my mind to kind of like separate the two. It's like, okay, at what time do I need to become an artist? Like when I'm playing, when I am experimenting, when I am just expressing. That's when I'm an artist. Illustrator, the illustrator needs to come out now. That's when I am talking business, when I am helping others resolve problems. That's when the illustrator comes out. So with that in mind, I feel a little bit more easier to call myself an illustrator when it comes to proposals, agents, publishers, treating it as more of a profession. Another thing that has happened this week is talking to Nick Sharatt. So if you've never heard of Nick Sharatt before, they are the person who created the Jacqueline Wilson book covers and author-illustrator. And how did I meet him, you ask? My colleague Brooke, who works at the same bookshop as I do, also goes to uni at MMU. MMU invited him to come in for a chat and also told their students that they can invite friends and family to join as well. So who did Brooke tell? Yay! Thank you MMU for spreading the love and Brooke for actually asking me, so thank you so much. It was really interesting to see Nick Sharatt's illustrations compared to his older work, and Nick Sharatt went through his whole like illustration journey. There was a point where he mentioned about observation drawing and being good at drawing basically, and I always wondered this, like, do I need to be good at drawing? Do I need to be prolific? Do I need to be exact when the illustration style that I like is more expressive, loose. At the end of the talk, they asked whether we wanted to ask any questions, and I did have to ask, if they were to start again in 2024, what would that roadmap look like? One tip he gave was to get an agent, and I really wanted to ask him like lots of questions, but I couldn't. So then I thought, okay, what's the next question that I really wanted to ask? And then I decided to Instagram him. So this is what I asked him. Thanks for taking time to chat at the end of your inspiring talk today. Sorry for getting a bit carried away with the talking. I'm super passionate about the creative journey. I did have one more pressing question as a newbie author illustrator. Do you think it was important to actually learn how to draw well with accuracy? And this is how he responded. I do think it was pretty essential for me to learn how to be reasonably competent at objective drawing. Even when my illustration work turned out to be stylized and non-realistic, having the ability to look and observe and draw what is in front of one just gives one's work an extra edge and believability, no matter what style one ends up working in. So when I started this journey, like even before journal number 1, I made 2 episodes about Drawbox, and Drawbox is a platform, a learning course that can teach you how to draw accurately and transfer the things that you see in real life onto the page. I've actually got questions like, am I going to be doing this again? And thank you for your comments. I will be, but the reason why I stopped it is because, what am I doing with this art? What is the point of me learning how to draw well? And this was before discovering I wanted to become an author illustrator. I knew I was going to go back to Drawbox once I figured out my subject matter and themes. Spoiler alert, future content. So thank you, Nick Sharatt, for that tip. Update on preparations for the Bologna Fair. I was writing my morning pages and I couldn't stop thinking about my business cards. I managed to find some really old business cards that I picked up from moo.com when I was in the shop at least over 10 years ago. Like, my young entrepreneur was telling me, this is the way, Jenny. I have ordered some sample packs, so I will share them with you in the next video when it arrives. Proof is in the pudding. Hoarding is not a problem. Hoarding is not a problem. Hoarding is not a problem. These are actually scraps that needs to go in my planner. But the point is, this is not a good starting point. So for me to create my business cards, I realized I actually need to create my website. And then for me to create my website, I realized I need to get clarity on my branding. So I have decided to find this good old book of mine. Yes, I bought this book many years ago. I actually found an exercise in here that says 2018. It's been 6 years ago now since I've done this exercise last, and I think I was doing it for Spotted Journal originally, but now it's really interesting that I'm going to be doing it for my actual website. I feel like doing things like YouTube or starting your own blog, it already primes you for the brand. What are you doing? The clarity, the artist way. Like, all of this prepping has helped me lay the foundations of my website. So I'm really looking forward to get on with the branding, and I shall share more of that in the next video. So yeah, that's all I have for you this week. I really hope you're having a good one, and remember to stay true to yourself. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye.